and it was over on RA. And now yes, it did. It was into a Kale though. That's the difference. It was into a lane where Nasus couldn't get, like, there was a true purpose to it. The W slows down the attack speed, and like Nasus in extended trades is okay, could survive range Kale. On the Sejuani, I wonder, because you're right. Trundle not only doing well into it, Clement, I'm worried about the 2v2 in the top lane. That is an easy permafrost situation. Health against Nasus as well. Gonna feel good, so this is a big ask, and I really hope that SEM9, for their first win of the year, can pull it across the line with this pick, because as you said, they put everything into it. SEM9 are 0-22 at the moment, Clement. For the year, not a single win. It's a sad story, but hopefully it turns around from now.
I trusted No Name. We've been talking about this for so long, just taking a look at the runes here. He does have the Conqueror, so much more of a teamfight focused one there. And he also has the scaling. They're available with the Transcendence. I trust in No Name. We've been saying this. SEM9 needs to find a lane that they can consistently win through. And No Name is going to be Citizen Kane here. He's going to be an outstanding individual with a giant soul-sucking cane that is going to smash SEM9 into victory. I trust. I feel it in my fingertips. I'm glad. I'm so nervous right now. I'm sweaty in my palms. I feel it coming. This is it. Where were you when SEM9 got their first win, when they came their way to victory?
Well, that's some optimism. Let's just see how it plays out, because we have an Ignite in the top lane here from ICU with Grasp as well. Conqueror taken by No Name. Kind of an interesting mix here, Clement, because a lot of the time it is Grasp or it's Unsealed Spellbook, depending. A very different angle.
You know why he's doing this? Because he understands with so many buffs on him, he's actually going to be able to stack this one. So he wants that extra healing to last through the fight right here. And we'll see if he actually manages to get it going. I think Nace is early on still an incredibly rough lane. You don't really expect much to happen right here. So the start of the game, I feel like, is how much Impunity can impede the progress of Arashi, just with their strong lanes. I feel like their lanes should have sizable advantages across the board right here. So I really expect a lot of invading from Alex. And there he goes.
Good timing, Clement. Already straight into the Raptor camp, but instead of the Vades, it's going to be a gank. Pillar can just force out a flash abscond of Duck. Lazar has to burn it as Alex. A little bit early on the trigger there, Clement, and Lazar probably happy trading it, but at the very least, they do have a mid lane flash down.
Yeah, Alex did have to flash in and get that slow on for Orianna, or else Lazar would have been able to walk away from that one. Still a pretty good play on his part. Funnel, I think for most times, trading the flash away isn't that big of a deal for him. And we'll see if he can start the invade. Like, Silas should have a sizable lead at this point.
Sorry, just so ridiculous seeing LT damage there. It's a level 2 Zeri. That W goes over the wall, and Shiadudu is at 1/8 of his HP. So a reason we do not like seeing Zeri, and a reason that Zeri is just so strong on these last couple of patches.
I think they're gonna have to change their direction again. I just don't like the identity of an AD carry. It's like, oh, I deal a lot of damage with a Lux laser over a wall on targets I can't even see most of the time. That feels so gimmicky to be a champion strength. So I do want to see them actually just bump down Burst Fire's range a little bit, keep her mobility there. You can give her a little bit more damage, but just bump Burst Fire down, and I think things are a lot more fair.
Have you thought about going on the champion design team after your casting career?
Look, I would really love to do it in like a vacuum. I think the champion design team actually does amazing work, but the community is really hard to deal with. Like, I think I'm somewhat on the spectrum, so maybe I can survive all the criticism, but still, man, it still feels like such a tough job.
Oh, that's very revealing. Thank you, Club and Chew. Yeah, okay.
No problem.
That's true. The community would be rough to deal with, but it's worth me asking because I feel like you're suited for it. So we'll see what happens to you one day. You could be like the chat.
No, I would just buff Fled.
Yeah,
out the stratosphere.
Hey, I mean, I was going to say he's in the right position, but I don't feel like there's any mythic that really
He's in a terrible position.
Yeah. Doomby even played him earlier this split, I think it was. But it still is just not great. I'll bring our attention back to the top side. Arashi decides now it's time to pay Snoop a visit. But a good warning here from ICU. Can't get in. Arashi backs away, and it means Alex and Winnie now have an opportunity to hit wherever they want. Clement, they burnt the flash of this earlier.
Yeah, and they're holding the wave here. Lazar, I feel like he senses this one. You know, the support has been gone for just a little too long. So, just as I say that, he walks out.
Good flash. Stretch line comes in, and with no summoner of his own, Lazar is dead. First blood to Alex, and that's what you call worth for the earlier summoner trade.
Yeah, it definitely felt like Lazar had some inkling of that. And this is such a good move against a champion like Yuumi. You know, there's no kill threat in this lane whatsoever, and you can just kind of farm away with your burst fire. So, and this is kind of the classical answer to very weak early Ezreal versus Enchanter lanes, is you just roam your support across the map.
Well, with that first blood as well, we already talked about jungle being able to invade, and for Alex, it sets up perfectly. Clement, he's behind CS with the gank, but at the very least, Lazar being in a rough position, with Husky getting close to 6-2. We didn't talk about what Husky can do this game, and like taking Arashi's ult, Lazar's ulti. I don't think there's anything there that he really wouldn't take, maybe apart from Share Dudu's ult. But everything there is perfect for a Sylas running up against a composition that, as you said, wants to ball and maybe play around this Nasus.
Yeah, I feel like the Orianna ult is always the one I gravitate towards. It has great AP ratios, and you just start with the Orianna ball on top of yourself. So you are a delivery system, you're the jury, judge, and executioner all by yourself. So it's really nice to play when you're Sylas versus Orianna. Kind of your classical answer right here. I just feel a little bit unfortunate for SEM9, because I feel like they have such a fun competition. But at the same time, Impunity just randomly picked up the correct answers across the board at 2. Like, they got the Sylas blind, and they got the Trundle too. It's just like, well, it's kind of unlucky.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, we got to build into it anyway. We committed. So, with no extra choice, I mean, right now, Impunity are using some of that early advantage to get in for an invade in the red buff. But Arashi coming in, seeing the frozen domain. And Alex, as he gets spotted out, I mean, Arashi going to be able to take this red buff away. Sky Splitter comes down, and it's very early for Axon to be getting on his jungler. But hey, at level 4, Clement, there he is.
Yeah, both of these supports are not in lane. Both of the AD carries can farm up with skill shots at long range, so very comfortable just letting that one happen. Husky knows that the jungler and the support is still prowling around here, so he's not going to go in on this one. And as a Yuumi, you do have an extra summoner when it does come to these roams here. I think they're just going to start the Herald onto this one, and it doesn't look like SEM9, Impunity have the vision control.
So where do you put this, Clement? Because if SEM9 are getting this for free, surely we should be talking about top lane again. But then again, we also know Nasus likes to stay in lane, as ICU wants to battle him out. The Ghost is still available. Now, I was wrong. Impunity do want to contest. The Stormbringer's stolen him from the stretch line. They're on the Nasus. Oh no! No Name dead at the start, but a 3-man Orianna Shockwave from Lazar turns it back around as Winnie's the next target, but Arashi having to slide up, can't heal past the damage. Alex survives with Lazar chasing through, and Alex thinking about going back in.
There he gets it!
Is now here as well, but ICU helps out, and now Alex is back on in. Axon helping out, but he can't remount. The pillar to zone off the flash away. It's Electro Search time with LZ sniping him down. The flash forward, the burst fire, and Impunity just bringing experience again to trump over SEM9.
I've got 3 words for you, and maybe it's 2. I don't care, but it's Ultra Shock Laser. That ability is just mind-blowing. LZ steals the Herald, and then gets an over-the-wall snipe onto Shedudu to turn around a 5v4. This was so good for SEM9. I think they had the right idea going into the engage here. Everyone was in position just a little bit faster, but Impunity outplay. They get the burst before the Fury of the Sands even has an impact, and Alex just is able to chomp down on the side without anyone noticing him here. LZ steals it with the W and chases it down. This was a correct setup for SEM9, but massive outplay for Impunity.
I didn't see it. I'm looking at the top side of the fight. And LZ, this is the rookie that came in. His debut in the PCS. I was already impressed when he was playing alongside Nature. And especially in a roster, Clement, that has Arn in it, who has, we talked about Apex, everyone else. This guy's stepping up huge. Here he is again. The Ultra Shock Laser does so much damage. And LZ is the reason why we do not give over Zeri. 3-0. And SEM9 looking like they always do, Clement. Completely do.
Yeah, it's so hard to play against this.
Okay.
And I just don't see No Name being able to chase it down.
Well, he does have the damage for it, though. He does have the damage for it, but he doesn't want to stick out a turret with the slow. So I'm willing to say that's the one good thing we've seen. And to be fair, Clement, in that last fight, SEM9 did look competitive. Like, it was a very interesting fight, but man, LZ coming in so clutch and me missing that Herald steal. He just pulled out the most beautiful W I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was very well done. You know, he was going in a different angle over the wall. He pops the W mid jump and gets a pixel perfect snipe onto it. That has to be such a morale killer as well. And in the meantime, they also popped the Herald into the top side just to make sure they could deny No Name a safe farming haven as early as possible. Now, that's only down to one stack, so if they just spot Arashi outside of vision, they could easily take down that top.
Yeah, well, we come back to a point in the game where, I mentioned the goal before, 4K. Clement, at this point, now I'm going to really ask you about how SEM9, wow, not intentional, how SEM9 plays this game through that Yumi we talked about, through that top side, because I think it's relevant considering that No Name has been able to play the game and stack up. But, SEM9 are still so far behind.
You remember that tingling sensation I was talking about, the sweaty palms?
Yeah, I remember.
I don't feel it anymore.
Oh, no.
I really don't. I feel like the magic is gone. I just don't see it. Like, Zeri is unkillable at this point. That's the problem. You need the Ignite. You need the... she has so much sustain at this point, and No Name doesn't have a place to farm.
Why are they TPing to that turret? I don't know. They might have another advantage till when he comes in. Dredgeline knocks down No Name. Has been rendered useless, and this ain't the Nasus I saw from Cube. A different story. The chapter's stalling, and action is stuck in place. A two-man shockwave means nothing when the Dredgelines keep connecting. This is Team Diff, and SEM9 can't do anything about it.
Yeah, very optimistic teleport being used right there. Lazar unable to join the fight in the end. In the bot lane, Sheduru has no hope against LZ, who's this fed. We'll watch that play again. Honestly, like, all the members here were spotted out. It was a very easy just tower takedown. Impunity even had the demolish for ICU at that point, so they deny the TP. They instantly kill the Nasus before he's able to sustain up. And, Lazar does come in, but unfortunately for the coach, Ashing here, his AFK days continue as just can't find anyone to anchor on.
He can't. He just wanted to, sit by the jungler, talk about pathing, focus on where they go next. But how can you coach as a support when as a Yumi, you can't really sit there, and you're right, Clement, you can't AFK. Kind of rough here. Now, look, we had so much hope that this was the draft that SEM9 could do it on, but in 14 minutes, it's a 7k gold lead. They have no control of their topside jungle. Limited wards available. 4 out of 5 members of Impunity have a bounty. And, the Nasus, Clement, still without his first item. So, at least we know that we're going to get to our last game quicker tonight.
Hey, for SEM9, we got late game. Trust. You gotta trust in the Kane, bro.
In 30 minutes. Okay.
It might not look good right now, but trust me, once those stacks start going, it's gonna be a different story. Trust. I'm trying to cope with it as hard as possible. I got my oxygen mask on. I'm trying to pump as much gas as possible into my lungs. We'll see, I guess. We'll see.
It's a lot of copium that's trying to go into your lungs right now, dude. A lot of hopium, a mixture of the two, and I feel like we overdosed a while ago. And every single game now, it's just like, oh, that residual feeling needs to come back. But Impunity, despite being 1-3, and despite being kind of a bit of a disappointment when we said they're a dark horse, you know, do get themselves a win that looks quite confident and quite comfortable. I think you and I went through them with Dewish team and got our hopes up, but losing to Frank, losing to DCG, even to CFO, has shown the difference between them and you know, our top 5. So this will be a nice win to get Impunity back on track.
Yeah, I feel like for Impunity, their goal is definitely to aim for, I would say, maybe the 6th and 5th place. And you can tell that...
Okay, well, a good start. At the very least, Arashi does get the lockout. And yeah, Winnie went in rather deep there. So a win for SEM9. However, the Herald's still there. It's going to get a charge. No Name's coming in. He wants some stacks. But this is going to be a long chase. There's Electroshock Laser just says no.
For those of you that don't know, that ability can now crit damage.
Yeah. They changed in 12-12.
Okay. I think it does help a little bit.
I'm in 12-12 in LPL, and I can tell you now that they changed the AD ratio, and they also put her ult move speed down per stack. So W has like a higher base, but a lower AD ratio, lower AP ratio, and its critical strike damage also went down. The base went higher, but the AD percentage got much lower. So you'll be happy to know that it does feel a bit weaker on 12-12. I hope that pleases you. Yeah, but it's still, she's still good. She's still first pick or bad. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like when you look at AD champion design, you typically have a trifecta where there's 3 different parameters, and those are range, damage, and mobility.
Yeah.
And Zeri, for some reason, just like excels at pretty much everything. Like she actually has pretty long range. The burst fire is 800. I think it's 850. And then she's highly mobile. That's like the basics of her kit. And
burst.
Yeah, she also does quite a bit of damage. She even used to have utility. So there you go. Like I just think they needed probably tone down the range of this champion to make it feel a bit better, feel more.
Well, I say you need to be a designer, Clement. How can you make change from the outside? If you want to really do something about it, you're gonna go on the inside. You got to do the chat, and as I'm sure he probably, I don't know, he decided to leave. Maybe it was the community. He's like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm going back to casting. So,
yeah. You know, the first thing I would do is I would make the Kled 4th hit every hit. Like there we go.
Yeah.
The game would feel much better.
What else? Charge on a 60-second cooldown.
It's actually pretty low already. The problem in late game is you always charge into a tank. It's too easy to counterplay. So, yeah, that one I think I'll give it a pass. That's
one redirect, Clement. Maybe you get one right click as a redirect. There's good stun under turret. Hang on, ICU has his ulti and he has Ignite. Throw it out, son. Of course he does with Fury. The Sands coming through. The turnaround from No Name also there. He has his own ghost, and with 447 stacks, you can see that No Name is getting there, Mr. Chu. But while the rest of the map is burning, that's the problem. Winnie going in for the engage, turrets down, the depth charge gets a double knock-up. It's a Shockwave, a 2-man this time around. LZ is one that tanked it up, but he still has his Electroshock Laser and throws that out. The ulti available too. So we do see SEM9 able to weather the storm, however much, but Clement, it's 19 minutes in the game. We still need a lot more weathering than that.
And No Name up 50 CS though, so that's something to look forward to.
Let's go.
Yeah, like you mentioned, those stacks really start to hurt. You can see maybe you can start the solo ICU. I know that's just the start. It's a very low bar. ICU is playing just a tank, but that's a beginning. And I also saw Winnie, Ashing, excuse me, get a very good ult. 4-man ult down right there. Unfortunately, Shitudu still not able to pump out the damage to get any kills. So I think we're seeing some signs of life, but I'm still not sure how this Nasus gets over Trundle. It's a no-flash Nasus, so you can just pillar him, and he has to walk around the pillar. I mean, sure, he can pop Ghost and get slow resist, but it's, you know, still takes a very long time for him to do so. And then you can just kind of perma-stun up with the Nautilus. So there's a lot of things that need to go right here for No Name. And I think, you know, he still has to spend some gold to swap into those Merc treads later on into the game.
Yeah, Lucidity for the earlier on, but you're right, Merc tread's going to have to come through. And by then as well, you have some tank items as Lazar gets that ult shock laser to the face one more time. And now that Baron spawned with a very fed Zeri, with a team that has a Trundle, Clement, this is a no-brainer right now. Draw them in.
Yeah, I don't think SEM9 is even going to be here on time. No Name does have a TP, and he spots the members going in. So the players get the tower, and then go in.
The turret. Let's go. That's worth. Who needs a Baron? Honestly, Arashi at this point looking for the steal.
Oh, I see
over the wall! Oh,
no.
that's so close. Props to Arashi who flashes out. Winnie with the dredge line charging up, but he won't do it. And so Baron goes over, and you have to give it to SEM9. Arashi could feel it, and that was the play.
That was a pretty cool play. So No Name doesn't go in. He continues to stack, and the rest of the team tries to snipe Baron.
Oh my god, it's triple TP. It's triple TP though, and No Name's just gonna get taken down over to LZ. Clement, I didn't even realize LZ has TP as well. They all committed to kill Snoop Dogg.
What did Snoop Dogg ever do to you guys? He's such a peaceful dude.
I don't know if you remember the custom skin, you know, ages ago on League of Legends client.
Oh, and it was the one with the boom boxes, right?
Yeah. Well, the boom box is actually in like the Infernal skin, the legendary skin.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they also had like the boom box, and they had, you know, the cool looking NASA's. It was a custom skin that I'll never forget. The real, like, you know, the Kane video. So, well, we can't reminisce too long because at this point, SEM9 losing Nasus again. Now a Glacier Prison coming through. Turret's getting threatened, and it's through multiple lanes. Clement, this Baron buff. Got about a minute 40 left to go, and Impunity are using mid, using bot. Topside wave not in a position, but I'm sure it soon will be.
Still got faith, man. I know it. No Name is going to drop it like it's hot. So,
oh yeah.
Here we go. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Well,
right.
It's 10k now. It's almost 11k. There's also an Infernal Soul coming for a team that has this Silas. Let's go, man. Fury of the Sands. The Fury of the Sands, they got quite larger as Husky trying to take it himself, but the rest of SEM9 are coming in. Oh, the shock laser again. That just stings. And he doesn't have a name as Winnie flashes over the wall. That dredge line, beautiful. The depth charge going to be a 3-man this time. And the poke, the LZ flashing forward. Disgusting. Clement, we need to get you in champ design and fast, as Impunity are just laughing at 23 minutes in the game. Clement, they're going to try and end it. And they're going to try and get the fastest game of the split. We talked about J-Team having it before, but it looks like Impunity ready to set the record as Lazar's up next. LZ's just too strong. SEM9 using their bot lane to defend, but 5 members despite the health bar. Still looks good as Dredge Line connects anyway. The Pillar as well. And Impunity may have just done it, but No Name. Arashi coming back up and available. It looks like with this Baron wave coming in, they're going to go for it again. Arashi to his death. The answer is yes. LZ gets the kill. 23-33. Clement, I've got to pull up the stats, but with the Nexus going down, I think they get there. And oh man, they've done it, but Impunity still whopping them.